Hello and welcome to the WBAP 820 570 KLIF Weather Podcast for Monday, April 4th, 2022. From the Cumulus Media Center in Dallas-Fort Worth, I'm Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton. Well, we had a pretty nice weekend to make up for the rough weather we had earlier in the week. We stayed up all night Monday into Tuesday morning because of a tornado watch, and we had absolutely no warnings in our area until the main part of the storm system passed into northeast Texas on into Arkansas. But it turns out we did indeed have one confirmed tornado touchdown in the DFW area. It was in Rockwall, east of Dallas, near Lake Ray Hubbard. The tornado was on the ground for only 2 minutes, for only about half a mile, but did severe damage to several homes in the McClendon-Chisholm area. A lot of tree damage, too. But the most severe damage was to this home. There was a portico-chair or a breezeway of some kind out front of their garage. Winds estimated at 100 miles an hour knocked the portico-chair down, which in turn pulled the garage away from the house. No injuries here, but the storms went on to do some massive damage in Springdale in northwest Arkansas, injuring 7 people, 2 critically. All right, let's move on to here and now. Here's our morning satellite loop, and as we switch from night view to daylight, you can detect a lot of low clouds moving up from the Gulf. That's the fuel that we're going to feed the upper-level storm system and the severe weather threat we're expecting this evening. And by the way, be sure and check or charge your batteries for cell phones, flashlights, and so forth, as we usually have a few thousand power outages in this area whenever a storm like this comes through. All right, now let's look at the National Weather Service radar this morning. We're seeing a mix of rain and snow through the Great Lakes from a Pacific cold front, and that part of it is still active, moving into some cold air that moved into the eastern part of the country this weekend. But as the front trails back to the southwest all the way into Oklahoma, that front is stalled out, and it's waiting for a second Pacific cold front to give it a push eastward tonight, and that's when our severe weather is expected to break out. Okay, let's roll through the surface maps. Busy day ahead from left to right, west to east. We're going to see rain trailing off in the coastal Oregon and Washington state areas, snow moving inland through the Big Sky country, spreading southward into Colorado, plus the rain-snow mix in the Great Lakes, and severe weather threat from Texas across Louisiana into Mississippi. Now, I like the looks of this map, but remember, this map covers a 24-hour period that started at 7 Central Time this morning, so that's not what everything's going to look like all day. This is a kind of a timeless map from 7 this morning to 7 tomorrow morning, Central Daylight Time. Let's go to the actual surface map just from 7 this morning, just so you can see the fronts and highs and lows without all the precip on there. Pacific front number 1 is in the Great Lakes. Front number 2 from the northern stream is back in Seattle this morning. And front number 3 is the red and blue marked stationary front that runs from Illinois down through Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, on into northwest Texas. And here's our surface map for 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now, things are beginning to happen. Rain and thunderstorms are breaking out in northwest Texas and parts of the big country down to Abilene, and we're seeing a few scattered showers and storms reaching down to the Texas coastal bend as well. Okay, so here we are at 7 o'clock tonight, pretty much 0 hour. Now, depending on where you live, I mean, if you live in Palo Pinto County, maybe down into Strawn or up by Grayford near Possum Kingdom Lake, those storms could be right on top of you between 5 and 6 this evening. But if you live out toward Kaufman or Kemp down by Cedar Creek Lake, it might be close to midnight. For the DFW central area anyway, we're thinking probably 7 to 10 this evening, something along that line, and that could slide. But the point is, please stay up on the watches and warnings and know where you are in relation to the bad weather. If you're driving, that also includes getting off satellite radio or giving up your playlist so you can hear the warnings when it's dark outside over good old-fashioned AM radio. That's where the big numbers are, 570 AM KLIF or WBAP 820. By the way, WBAP is full power, 50,000 watts day and night. So if you're just about anywhere in Texas tonight, you can probably hear us. But the last thing you want to do, the last thing I want you to do is to drive into a tornado or a gust front or a flooded roadway that you just can't see. There's no reason to do that when we're putting those warnings and watches on just pretty much all night long. Now, by midnight, just about everything is over with, okay? Most of the rain, maybe not all for Kaufman County, but by midnight, most of the rain should be over and things will be clearing up during the day tomorrow. But, in the KRLD listening area, I mean, really anywhere from Wichita Falls and Abilene through Kaufman, Terrell, on out to Tyler. Tyler could get some big storms tonight, too. Just understand, between 5 this afternoon and maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, there's going to be quite a severe weather event ongoing across much of north and northeast Texas. Now, let me give you a quick view of the high-res model, which is showing the storms approaching the DF metro area around 6 this evening. Hopefully you can get home from work and school without too much trouble, but they'll be building and they'll be moving, and we're going to have to watch for them. And they'll probably be moving in a little bit before dark. Then we'll move to the loop now, which takes storms through DFW on out to the southeast around midnight. So see, they develop off to the northwest about 6 and move through around midnight in the DFW area, but they're still very active east of Dallas, southeast of Dallas, and also in northeast Texas. And there may be a couple of Me Too showers and thunderstorms trying to come through early in the morning as well. All right, here's the Storm Prediction Center enhanced risk area for severe weather, including about 10 million people here in north and northeast Texas this afternoon and tonight and early tomorrow morning through northern Louisiana into Mississippi. So this is going to be a long-lasting weather event, and it's right at the base of Tornado Alley for sure. And from the local National Weather Service office, here's a close-up view of the severe weather threat in north and northeast Texas tonight. Okay, I'm going to be on live with Rick Roberts about 4:30 this afternoon, unless I need to be on sooner. And remember, I will tweet out weather updates and radar loops when I can. Otherwise, just please be listening for our coverage on WBAP tonight. So that leads us to our local forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, windy, and humid, with showers and thunderstorms moving in late this afternoon. Some storms likely severe, with all modes of severe weather hazards possible. High today 79, south winds 15 to 20. Thunderstorms tonight ending after midnight, lows about 55. We're clearing windy and warmer with a high of 84 tomorrow with southwest winds. But we're going to have north winds coming in behind what's going to turn into a big storm system for the eastern half of the country. And so on the backside of that, gusty north winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour, high of 72 Wednesday, low of 47 Wednesday night, and highs will be in the 60s and lows will be in the 40s Thursday and Friday. Thanks again for joining us for the WBAP 820 570 KLIF Weather Podcast for a stormy April 4th. Until next time, meteorologist Brad Barton from the Cumulus Media Center.